Hello, everybody. This is Jordan. Hey. So I'm going to be ranting a little bit. Don't mind me. You can ignore the webcam if you want. Uh, just feel free to listen to me while I take care of a few things. So today's status report. All right. So I've come up with this idea that um, because this is an API and it needs to be performance, that I've decided to integrate what's called a Cython, and um, I decided that as much as possible should be available in Cython so that I can get good performance gains. I haven't tested anything yet, but um, it's going to get there, I think. So today I want to kind of get my thoughts out about how I want this to work. And I'm pretty sure that if I do this, I'm going to get beaten to the punch. But um, the way I want my API to work is ideally I would want a bunch of extensions and drop-in modules uh, to be able to integrate nicely with Flask. I want each section of my API to be able to live without the other one. That way, should a client or user decide they don't need something like, I don't know, shipping, um, shipping notifications or something, that um, they actually don't need it, and they can just, and I don't include it, right? Is my microphone volume really low? My microphone volume is really low. Seriously? Is this better? Can anyone hear me? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to turn that all the way up. Why does that keep turning that down? What keeps turning that down? I don't want that to be turned down. I don't want that to be turned down. Stop turning that down. Stop turning that down. Stop turning it down. Stop turning it down. What on earth, YouTube? Seriously? Stop. Stop. Stop turning down the microphone. Stop. No, seriously, stop. Are you fucking... Pardon me. YouTube is deciding to turn down my microphone volume for some reason, and I don't know if anyone can hear me. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm really quiet, because YouTube, I can't control that. YouTube's doing that auto-magically. Ironically, that is the downside of having everything done auto-magically. Because if you want to override the default behavior and there's no way to, annoying. It's really annoying. So I want my API to be able to live without each other. They should be able to link to each other, but I don't think they should be linked to each other. Each API should be able to query another API without necessarily having to touch their user database models. Maybe they get a copy of a stub or something as a type, but in general speaking, I don't really necessarily want them to know about each other. so that someone could sit up at the front of the front gate of my application and say, "Okay, I need these 5 things, but I don't need these 4 things. So I'm going to query these 5 things and use the OpenAPI specification to um, make it able to uh, compress them together into the response that's necessary." I didn't even think about this until I saw uh, someone giving a talk over Google Cloud endpoints and how they decide that they just use an API gateway to merge together the response they want. And that's pretty cool. Um, I think that's pretty cool. That would allow you to build modular systems that don't necessarily depend on each other and can function independently of each other, whether they live in the same database or a different database. Whether the API is connecting to a database that lives locally or elsewhere, um, allowing for independent databases, in my opinion, would be pretty cool. Um, and you wouldn't necessarily need to query it at the database level. You could query it on the HTTP level. And besides, doing it this way, if with the proper database, let's see, what is it? With proper database replication, would mean that you could get it anywhere you want, probably. I don't know. I'm concerned prematurely about replication when I haven't even written a single line of code. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was. I'm taking what I've already written basically and rearranging it into compiled code. And I know it's a little early for optimization, but if this is going to be huge, I'd rather get it done right the first time. I'd rather um, take the extra time to get testing and everything working and create an application skeleton with API docs and everything that just tells me, hey, Jordan, here's where you left off. Here's how you use it. Here's a user guide, and go from there. And that application skeleton will probably be public. That's probably what I'm going to make public. But the thing is, I want to monetize this, so I need to find a way. I'm thinking if you want me to custom develop software for you, I'm okay with not getting a huge lump sum of money. If you're okay with me, um, if you're okay with selling something for me on your website, and you want to give me anywhere from 3 to 5% of what you sell, I'm not sure if that's high enough, but since payment providers already charge another 3% anyways, I'm kind of anxious of whether I should be able to say, hey, I want 10%. But they're only charging 3 kind of thing. So the point of this whole thing at this point in time is to create a piece of software that is extensible with drop-in functionality, um, that I want to be able to give to clients and say, here, yeah, you want to keep track of users, you can do that. You want to get in touch with them on Facebook, you can do that. You want to get in touch with them on Google, we can do that. Although Google doesn't have a social platform anymore besides YouTube. Um, you you want to do your taxes. If you do income on my website, we can get you situated with tax forms eventually, is my hope. Help you submit your taxes. Um, there's probably a lot more that I haven't thought about yet. Like if you're buying from all over the globe, and how are you going to arrange shipping and everything, and contact customers. And as I go through my business, trying to make a living, or uh, help people with computers, I'll I'll find common problems, and I'll probably try to solve them as I go, and propose them as issues on GitHub. The point of this whole stream is that I feel like a huge snowball is about to get rolling. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make the deadline on my Linux administration project. That's probably gonna fall through. But the point of this is I have a website, I have a business, and I need to get myself up and running. And it's been very, very frustrating for me, for people that want a business, that want to be social, that want to get out there and get themselves in the world and get them started on payment platforms and have their own custom website and all of that. To be able to do that, well, you kind of have to either use software that already exists, but you can't really, I mean, you can customize already existing software, and there's probably a lot of time investment that goes into making this work. But the point of this is that with the right license, I would want to own my portion of this software and putting it together and stuff. And eventually, I would want to say I did this. That I made a piece of software that hundreds of thousands of people use, kind of like Elon Musk. He made PayPal, right? I don't know what I'm going to call this. I haven't even thought about it yet. But the whole point of this is that all these apps need really is hosting. That's it. If I can get a good gig deal with hosting somewhere, um, where I share maybe a portion of my profits, or we come to an agreement where I show ads on their site, or on site or something, or we'll figure out something. Maybe a subscription model for people who care. Maybe a Patreon would be okay for me, because I'm tired of working for free, legitimately. So where I'm going with this piece of software I'm working on, eventually, if it doesn't fall through, which I hope it doesn't, will power my website and will power countless hundreds of thousands of people's website on, who knows. All my clients will hopefully use this software, hopefully, being it can gain any adoption. And ultimately, I would want to make it as good as WordPress, but better. Like, yeah, the only difference is I would want ties to it, right? WordPress is great. You can get it set up in 5 minutes, and there are free hosting platforms out there. You don't really have to worry about that too much. But you see, I'd have to spend time learning how WordPress works, and that'd be great to customize it. It doesn't. It might be giving excuses, but maybe it's just not like something I want to do. So the final status report is that the whole thing had to be redone at least twice. The whole project has been redone from scratch. Um, the user API isn't up yet on the new version, and I know this is probably like stupid, and I've seen this so many times before with other people, is they keep redesigning and redesigning and redesigning, but it just doesn't feel right, I guess. I don't know. I don't have any time frames on when it's going to be ready, but I need to at least have the basic user information and Google login and stuff working. And the next, like, 2 to 3 months, I hope I'll have something that I can present to clients. Because I don't even have a front end yet. Seriously, it's a mess. But I hope I'll make it there someday. Well, that's all for now. If I have anything more to rant about, I'll come back onto YouTube. See y'all laters. Bye.